dealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. Check, we Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the SWAC, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, and I'm back in the building again. You already know what it is. It's your boy Scotty watching OFFScript. All right, too easy. Now listen, before I get into this, I want to make listen. Don't get in the habit of me doing commits. All right, this is not my lane. This is CFL's lane. All right, I don't have the time nor the energy to be this commit, video commit, dropping video. Don't expect that from me. So I am not stepping in this lane at all. I am addressing a quarterback and all the issues that come with my man Quincy Casey. All right. So that's the only reason I'm doing this video right now. We're going to talk a little bit about the new guy. We're going to talk about Quincy. I'm going to say my piece and I'm going to get up out of here. Don't expect me to do no recruiting commits. That is not my lane. All right. CFL got a whole commitment series and all that stuff. Have at it. Watch it. I'm not doing it. All right. I'm just addressing all the questions that have been getting since this commit dropped. All right. So that's it. So that's my thing. All right. That's it. All right. Make sure you tonight, 7:30, the Afterglow show with Kofi Hemingway. We're going to talk about what's going on around the SWAC, up and coaches, recruits, all that type of stuff. All right. And the Celebration Bowl coming up. So make sure you tune into that tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central. All right. So let's get into a little bit about the new guy, Jarren Williams. All right. Jarren Williams is a former 4-star quarterback coming out of high school. He played his time at the University of Miami. All right. So let me see. Boom. This is his career stats at Miami. If y'all can see that. All right. That is his career stats at Miami. Let me zoom in just a little bit more for you guys. All right. Let me scroll down just a little bit. All right. Those, you should be able to see that. There you go. That is his career stats at Miami in 2019. The young man transferred to he went to Garden City, I believe. They canceled their season in 2020. He transferred to South Florida after that and played at and then went to South Florida, didn't play, and then he's transferring again. All right. And now Alabama A&M has the rights to him and stuff like that. So that is what it is. All right. That's just is what it is. All right. So listen, I'm not here to judge this kid. All right. His time at Miami, it wasn't bad. All right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular, but he's definitely a solid quarterback. I watched a little bit of his film. Definitely has a good touch deep ball. Has some mobility. Can definitely make all the throws that you need him to make. He could definitely be an asset to Alabama A&M in the QB room. Listen, Alabama A&M has pretty much they are QBU. All right, let's be real with that. You stupid, Coach Hart. You dumb. You're funny. All right, he definitely can make all the throws. Like I said, any school in the SWAC would be happy to have this kid. If I'm being honest, he's definitely has the talent, right? So this is my thing. And listen, like I said, I'm probably going to interview. I'm going to try to get an interview with the kid to talk more about his story and stuff like that. That just is what it is. So I'm not here for that. All right. I'm here for the Quincy Casey questions. All right. I'm here for the Quincy Casey questions. My inbox, right? And listen, I keep everything on wax. So anybody who hit me up in Instagram, just know you about to go on my show right now. All right. Because y'all got all the smoke in the world. All right. So I'm about to start sharing Bama's stuff. Let me make sure I got, let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah. So anybody that was in my DMs, just make sure you about to get exposed. All right. So I don't, if you big enough, if you bad enough to say it, you're bad enough to get put on blast about it. All right. All right. So Robert Gandy says, I don't know if you guys can let me blow this up a little bit more. All right. Let me see. All right. I hope y'all can see that. Robert Gandy says Quincy Casey about to hit the portal again. All right. And then let me see what else somebody says. Quincy may have to wait. What else we got in here? What does the new agency? Good morning. What is it? See, just this is why I have to make a show about this stuff, is because people keep asking me stuff about Quincy Casey. All right. So y'all know I'm not lying. All right. Listen, unlike some quarterbacks in the SWAC, I won't say no names, right? Some quarterbacks in the SWAC have a benefit that their father is the head coach, right? So you don't have to compete. Every other spot in major college football, you have to compete every single year unless you're a solidified quarterback, all right? You have to compete. Everybody's trying to get better at the position. That's why every year you recruit, all right? There's only one guy last year that probably wasn't going to get swapped out, and that's Shedeur Sanders and Aqeel Glass. Those and Felix Harper. Those are probably the only three quarterbacks that were not going to get switched out or tried out or put on blast or whatever you want to say. That's how life works, right? And if somebody wasn't scared of competition and really gave an opportunity to the young man, we wouldn't listen. All some quarterbacks had to do this year was not crash the car, right? A lot of quarterbacks could not crash the car. In the Celebration Bowl, Jay Walker even said, it's hard for a team to score more than 3 touchdowns against one team. I'm not going to say no names about the team. We already know what team it is, right? So as the QB of that said team, you don't have to do much work. You don't have much competition behind you because it's set up that way, right? In every other QB room, you got to compete and win your job. You either win it because you know the playbook better than the player, or you win it because you out-talent the guy ahead of you and you have a more control of the offense. Let's not play like Quincy Casey is not about competition. My man went to Alabama A&M knowing he was not going to start. Any quarterback that stepped foot at Alabama A&M's campus last year was not going to start over Aqeel Glass. So let's not play. Let's not act, okay? So the mere fact that Alabama A&M is doing what Alabama A&M does, which is recruit, which they're supposed to do, recruit the position. I promise you, another school, I won't say no names, would not recruit another 4-star quarterback under the 4-star quarterback they have. That's what that wouldn't do, okay? So let's not play these games. You guys act like college recruiting is not about getting the best players in that position. How is everybody I said this in the spring. I said it's real funny how every other position on said team is getting somebody underneath them that could compete except one job. Except one position. Every other position has somebody to compete with except the main position at that position. So you never know who else can get that job. And said team has a father running it, so it's not very likely that his offspring is not going to get the starting position. Yeah, okay, that's competition. Oh, said team has a father who does a post-game conference and says, oh, this is how it was always supposed to look like. Oh, true competition there. True competition there. So anybody who believed that needs to be shot and killed if you actually thought there was a competition going at said team. Young man is in a space where he actually has to compete for a starting position. He actually has the opportunity. Let me say that. He actually has the opportunity to beat out a quarterback and say, you know what? I am the best guy in this room. I am the best guy, no matter the situation, no matter that the head coach is said father of said team. That's what he's allowed to do, and he's going to put it on full display. If he makes it, he makes it. If he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it. That's how college football is. The young man didn't make it at South Florida. Nobody's clowning him. Nobody's clowning the man who left South Florida. Nobody's clowning him. because he wants to have an opportunity to compete for a starting position. Nobody's clowning him, but everybody's addressing questions at Quincy Casey, the guy who actually walked into the situation, understanding the situation, say, you know what? I'm going to compete next year for a starting position. And I'm okay with that. No, but everybody's taking shots at the young man who was willing to sit, learn the playbook, and have an opportunity to compete for the position. But nobody's clowning the young man who actually left 2 positions, 2 stops to come to Alabama A&M to compete for a job. But he's not the problem. Quincy Casey is the problem. Neither one of them are problems in my book. You do whatever's best for you. You do whatever's best for you. But at the end of the day, he still had to leave to get opportunity. So it would be funny if somebody if said person wanted to jump in the portal and go to another team, then people would be clowning Quincy Casey and not the person other people are doing it. Everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is doing it. But he gets all the criticism. That's crazy to me. But left a situation that said father wanted said offspring to start, but that's the problem. Wow, but the young man QC is the problem. That's crazy to me. The logic that you Bama's use is real crazy to me. Real crazy to me. And then I got people like this. Then you got see, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's talking about the kid who transferred in to get the starting position, but everybody's clowning the kid that was staying there, willing to compete for the position. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That's crazy. That's really crazy. That's really quick. And how quickly we forget how Jalen Jones was a 4-star quarterback that went to Jackson State, didn't work out, but he's not the problem either. He's not. He wasn't the problem. He wasn't the problem either, right? The 4-star quarterback from Florida that transferred into Jackson State. No, he's not the problem. He's not the problem. Come on, man. Y'all are wild, and y'all are really funny to me. Really funny today. And I'm with the smoke today.
There are 2 participants in the conference.
You know, once you hear the white lady, the call lines is open. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Scotty, what's happening, bro?
What's good?
Hey, man, I know everybody on Quincy now, and it sounds a little far-fetched, man, because of his situation now. But if he get a chance to either start, man, at A&M, or he gets an opportunity, man, for a coach like they have over at A&M, if he's just in the right position, I know a lot of people probably going to bomb on it, man, but Quincy Casey got an opportunity, man, to possibly be one of the best quarterbacks in the SWAC. That motherfucker can play, bro. Athletic ability-wise, he can play. And the 1 or 2 times we saw him in the SWAC, I mean, he came off the bench, man, and he actually did his shit, man. So, I mean, iron sharpen iron, man. If you get the right guy to see in the right situation, A&M could be the right situation for him, man. I know we kind of shitting on him now. Well, not we, but I know people shitting on him, but that motherfucker can play, bro. And he's gonna shock some people. They gonna keep sleeping, and he's gonna shock some people.
I keep trying. Listen, man. Like I don't understand. Like people. This is a funny thing. People are so enamored with the new thing, right? Because listen, you haven't seen. Listen, nobody's seen that offense without Shedeur Sanders, so you don't know what it could look like opposed of Shedeur Sanders, because everybody that was supposed to have a spot competing, nobody played with that team. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's gonna be like, well, the offensive line was bad. Well, the offensive line was said to be worse in the spring, correct? That's what I heard. That's what people was telling me. That he didn't have the same receivers that he had. He didn't have Malachi Wyman. He didn't have Robert Lanier. He didn't have all these guys that he didn't have JD Martin, all these guys that he's supposed to have, and all this all-world talent that's all around Shedeur nor did he have that defense on the other side. So people are giving Shedeur a lot of credit, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but you have not seen this offense opposed of Shedeur Sanders. So you don't know what it could look like, good or bad. All you know is what Shedeur has done. Because if you compare anything to the spring, you're going to tell me that's not the same team. But then I'm going to tell you that's a worse team. If we're talking about spring compared to fall, the team is upgraded in every position. So what are we talking about? Even the offensive line, from what I was told. So I don't get it. So it is what it is.
Well, you know what? I wasn't even going to bring up Shedeur, man, because I get tired of it, man. But being that you brought him up, let me say this. I will say this. and I stand on this. Shedeur Sanders, man, you can't take anything from him. But I will go out on a limb and say that Shedeur, Quincy Casey, Jawan Pass, Glass, and maybe one or two other quarterbacks out of the SWAC. If any of them was in Jackson State offense, the result would have been the same. It ain't like Shedeur just did a shitload of stuff, man, to separate him from everybody else. He was in a better situation, but all in all, with the defense that Jackson State had, any of those quarterbacks that I just mentioned could have done the same thing in Jackson State system, and the end result would have been the same. So not taking anything from Shedeur, but shit, man, the motherfucker ain't damn Joe Montana's little cousin, brother, sister's boyfriend, cousin, bro. I mean, come on, man.
It's simple, but you know, nobody really. If you know, you have the fans, you have fandom. Then you have football people who can separate, have objectivity, can give a player his credit, but you're like, look at the full team, my man. Like, come on. So it's the fandom would never, the fan people would never see it as such because they feel like you're just hating. But then the football fans are like, yeah, anybody who knows football, like watches football, they're gonna be like, yeah, he's great. Like, I'm like, Shedeur is great, but it's saying like you could have put a lot of people behind that. And they probably wouldn't have been as great as Shedeur, but you still come up with the same, you still come up with the same stuff because at the end of the day, it's like your defense is so great, but it is what it is.
But if anybody seen Quincy, and like you said, anybody, man, that know football, if they seen the flashes that I've seen, man, that Quincy Casey shown during the spring, I'm telling you, if you're in the right situation, he's gonna be the motherfucker people talking about. That damn kid can play.
Appreciate it. Hey, good call, man. Appreciate you.
Take care, brother.
All right, man. Hey, what's up, Deon? What's up, man? Talk to me.
Hey, man. My thing is, this is really more about Maynard. Obviously, Maynard's from North Carolina, and I got friends who played under him. I told them Maynard needs to be concentrating on defense. I personally didn't believe that they needed another quarterback. I think Quincy is good enough. No matter who you got behind center, if they can't stop a nosebleed, going to be the same thing. So to me, this is more about the coach. You know, bringing in another quarterback, is it really needed? You need to get that. Every recruit,
you have to recruit every position. To be on defense. You have to recruit. Listen, bro, to be on defense. That's not realistic, bro. Like that's like I get I agree. I agree, but that's not realistic, right? That's like saying in the NFL draft, right? That like if the Cowboys had a horrible defense, which they did, most of their picks were defensive. That's how you can work in the NFL. But recruiting, you have to recruit across the board. That's just how recruiting is. You got to get talented.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, but A&M had the best QB room last year, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We know what their defense is.
Dog, like that, you know what you sound like right now? You know what you sound like? You sound horrible, right? Because that's like saying Jackson State, like, didn't Jackson State have the number one defense? Why are they bringing in the number one DB as JUCO? Would you say that? Well, all right then. That shit don't make sense. It don't make sense what you saying.
Yeah, but when your defense is the worst. The worst.
So why isn't Jackson State bringing in all O linemen? So why is if your offensive lineman is the worst? Why don't I see a lot of 4-star wide receivers, but I don't see no O linemen? I don't see you having the same energy for that.
Hey, I can't speak on them because I went to A&T, but I'm just saying. But I can't speak about that. But I'm saying that defensively, I just figured that they could have, be bringing in more defense. Because that's their deficiency by far. It ain't like they don't have a quarterback at all or a sufficient quarterback to replace a Quill. Like if you'd have told me they had no quarterback at all, but we know their defense is the worst. I just figured it could have been used differently. That's all.
But you can't listen, man. Like that's like Alabama saying we got Bryce Young, so we're not going to recruit quarterbacks. Like that doesn't make sense. You can't do that. That's not how college football works. But that's what you sound like right now. You're like, oh, but you got a great you got a great quarterback. You don't need to recruit quarterback. Like what? Like no.
Okay. I mean, we all know what their deficiency is. So no matter who you have behind center, if they can't stop nobody, it's still going to be the same results. No matter who you play. Everybody.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. Listen, this is me being 100 with you. They got some guys. Okay. Now, are they going to hit on them? I don't know. That's with any recruit. You know, they could be all every defensive guy that I know they've brought in, like from me personally, from what I've been told, they could be bust. They could. That's how recruiting works.
You don't know until they put them on the field.
That's my point. You know what I'm saying? So they can, and that's no different than them having 5 defensive linemen and all 5 suck. Like it could be that.
Right about that.
You know what I'm saying? It could be that too. So you just gotta. That's why with recruiting, it's just you bring in the numbers and let it play itself out. You get what I'm saying? You got
let the cream rise to the top.
Exactly. Let the cream rise to the top.
I just figured since this was spotlighted, I'm like, boy. I guess because this was spotlighted, and like I said, you know, my team is A&T, and we got our own issues. But I'm looking like, boy, we know they defenses. Who? I figure, you know, so okay. I mean, you're closer to it than I am, but we'll see how it rises and everything. So
yeah,
but everything else talking about, you know, I mean, they'll let it play out. I don't, you know, some fans are just irrational and delusional. I don't even worry about them. So. But appreciate it though.
I know, man. Appreciate the call. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, good sir. This is your friendly neighborhood, second generation Jacksonian calling. I know you got a lot of calls, but could I, in the Jalen Jones Quincy case, can I go back a couple of years when Jalen first got to Jackson
Go
State?
ahead, talk to me.
And so I always hate to say anything negative about him because the truth of the matter about Jalen's time at Jackson State was, other than Keontae Hampton, we didn't have a lot of playmakers that just jumped off the screen. Does that make sense?
That's real. That's real.
So watching him, like when he first got to Jackson State, he was a 4-star, and he was, you know, because, you know, you hear 4-star, you think, oh, he's going to do. But what I had to realize sitting in the stands, I was like, well, he ain't really got nobody to throw the ball to. He ain't really got nobody blocking for him. He ain't really got nobody to get to. So I'm always hesitant to say
that's fair
what he was and what he wasn't, because as you know, you could be great, but if you're not surrounded by greatness, it limits what you could do. Does that make sense?
That's fair. Now you do have a situation where you have quarterbacks that are great enough to elevate the talent around them, right? But that
exactly
comes at
and he wasn't there now.
Yeah,
so that gets me to the second point.
Gotcha.
Comparing apples to apples, it just became clear to me that Quincy Casey, and again, I don't want to, you know, plus these college kids, so I don't like crap. Just comparing apples to apples, Quincy Casey was just a much better quarterback than Jalen. I mean, it was just the eye test. So coming to your point about competition, once it became clear that Shedeur was going to start, the only thing I said after watching Quincy Casey in the summer and seeing what Jalen wasn't, my only concern was, I just hope you're sure. Does that make sense? When it was clear that Shedeur was going to start, I was just like, just please be sure. Now, I don't disagree with what you're saying about every position. You're supposed to, every position there's supposed to be competition. Like I was a high school baseball player. I was a Golden Glove, shortstop, third baseman. There was always somebody coming. There was always a freshman or sophomore. You know, I was a starting shortstop, third baseman in the 9th grade, but 9th, 10th, 11th, there was always somebody behind me. So I agree with what you're saying, that there should always be competition. What I will say, and this doesn't, I want to be clear, this doesn't diminish your argument. I will only say that other than Aqeel Glass, was there another quarterback that had a better year than Shedeur?
No, not even close.
So then what I would say then is, even though you're right about the competition, I would at least say that Coach Sanders was right about pulling the trigger. Now, how right? There's a question about how right. That is, if we got to see Quincy Casey with what Sanders had, we don't know. So that gets me to my third and final point, and I get off and shut up, is that I think that Quincy Casey is a quality quarterback. I think that under Maynard, if he wins the job, he will do well. And as you know, revenge is a factor. So I'm not looking, if Quincy Casey wins that job and he gets Jackson State in his eyesight, that's that. Let me show y'all what I can do.
Revenge Tour 2022.
Go ahead.
Just Revenge Tour 2022. Go ahead.
Right. And so I was never one of those people when he left, when Casey left, I was never one of those people saying he shouldn't leave. Look, we've all been around. and I'll say this, and I don't like putting other people into it, but you can ask Grambling people about this. One of the things that hurt Doug Williams' tenure was him playing his son, and from what I understand, the team and the fan base was split on whether or not Doug Jr. was a good quarterback. And I remember us thinking that, hey man, we saw Daddy Ball didn't work as well, and we were worried about that. We should do it. Luckily, it didn't split our fan base and our team. So I think Quincy Casey is a quality quarterback. I think under man, he has one of the best offensive minds in the SWAC. I think if Quincy Casey wins the job, he will do well. And I agree with you. No one should be crapping on Casey because you recruit every position. Like I said, I remember being high school football, basketball, baseball player. Every day you showed up, you had to work for your position. That's all I want. I just want to let you know that not every Jackson State fan is crapping on Casey's name. And because he chose us, right? He chose us. He came from to us. I want the young brother to do well, and then I'll shut up and get off and let other folks say something.
Hey, appreciate the call. Listen, I think that's a perfect soliloquy. It's a perfect soliloquy. All right. Once again, man, listen. Once again, I think people have it twisted, right? Because you see my argument now, right? But you have to understand where it stemmed from, right? So in the beginning, I was like, I'm not going to give Shedeur credit for something he didn't do, right? That was my first argument in the whole, start of the season. I'm like, I'm not going to give Shedeur credit for he hasn't done anything. Then as the season went along, I'm like, man, this kid's different, all right? I'm like, this kid got it, you know what I'm saying? And then by the end of the season, I'm like, yeah, I'm a believer. Shedeur's that guy, all right? I'm a believer. Shedeur's that guy. Now, as a solid quarterback he is, to me, is he, I don't like, I don't want to compare him to a Quill because that's two different factors, right? But you guys want to, so as a freshman, he did what he was supposed to do. He led his team to a championship, didn't crash the car, and did what he was supposed to do. Allowed some games he had to go win them, and some games his defense won them. You know what I'm saying? He was never the culprit of why his team either was going to lose. He was never the culprit of why his team was in a bad situation most times. So it is what it is. But my argument now here today is that I just don't like people bashing Quincy Casey for wanting to compete. Like for going to a job, going to a position and wanting to compete. That should not be the question of it. Simple as that. Hey, what's up, Jay? Talk to me.
What's up?
Talk to me.
Man, this is news to me. This is actually kind of fun, bro. Like we really enjoying this. So first and foremost, shout out to you for always, you know what I'm saying, saying what you need to say, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? So let me be clear when I state this, because one of the things I hate is that we sometimes look at opinions, or man, my partner who the cook at the school told me this and this and this and this, and I saw people say, well, Scotty was the reason Quincy went to A&M and all the other stuff, and that's cool, whatever, right? But what I'm going to speak on right now is called facts, right? So we're only going to talk on facts. So anybody want to address me directly after this call, feel free to call my number directly. Tag me on it. We're going to address this, right? So we're going to get to the bottom of it. First thing first, Friday, Quincy jumped into the pool, right? Was that Friday?
Was that Friday?
I think that was Friday.
Yeah, that was Friday. That was Friday.
It was Friday. So what I told my little brother, so I want folks to be very clear what I'm giving you right now. So we're not doing speculation. This is real, okay? What I told my little brother, I said, bro, you popping. So you ain't play last year and these folks still talking about you, right? So that's good. I think that's awesome because Lil Bro ain't even playing. He's a topic of conversation. He didn't do anything today, and guess what? He's a topic of the show, right? So what I'm looking at is I've never seen a bunch of grown-ass bitter men who hate on kids. That's the part I think that disgusts me. Some of these folks in these comments, man, truth be told, y'all wouldn't say that shit in his face, and you definitely wouldn't say it in mine, because I guarantee you, we probably drag your ass all the way across that damn floor. Like, that's that whole Twitter tough guy shit, right? So then when we speak about HBCUs and we speak about our black athletes and we speak about this and this, how y'all shitting on a kid, brother, you know, free education? How you shitting on a kid that's still competing? Because on one end of things, we say, oh, we're in this era where everybody jumps in a portal and they run. But you shitting on a kid who competes. Alabama A&M, is it the fact that whoever this guy is, is it because he has 4 stars and he came from Miami? Is that the big issue? Because if his name was Johnny Jones and he was a 2-star, would it still be the same problem? And I'm asking as a question.
I don't think people will give it the same validity.
Gotcha. Okay. So I try not to shit on any kid because that's not my thing. Because what a lot of these suckers in these chats have to realize, y'all got to understand something. These are still kids. They still have parents. They got mothers, they got sisters, and his brothers, and it's sports, right? But some of the shit y'all be saying, bro, like y'all some clown asses. And I say that with the utmost respect because as a black man, we push our kids to go to HBCUs. That's what we want them to do. But this is what you clown ass dudes be saying in the comments. And you're not even talking about ball play. You want some other shit. Y'all some clown asses for that. So I'm gonna leave that there. Now, going back to the competition piece of things again, Quincy jumped in. He's only transferred 1 time. This kid here is transferred twice. Well, this is his 3rd go round, I think. So what? Let that man transfer. These folks, if he getting a degree and if he competing, if Quincy don't win the spot, guess what? It wasn't his spot to win. I don't understand why we so caught up in the fact that a kid is competing because Alabama A&M is down quarterbacks. I'd be damned. I would hope you want to go get the best of the best for competition. Wouldn't you, Scotty?
That's what you want.
I think any school should want to get a quarterback room that's competitive, just like my wide receivers, my centers, my DBs. I want competition, bro. Iron sharpens iron. So when we say, oh, he don't want to compete, well, you gotta stop saying that because guess what? He's at A&M competing. He went to A&M last year. I heard folks saying, oh, CJ Dixon finna run him out the room. This, and this. And this, and this. Y'all ain't talking about CJ Dixon? When he was at Jackson State, Quincy chose Jackson State before Jalen Jones, right?
Facts.
Oh, Jalen Jones, 4-star. Not shitting on Jalen. But guess what happened? Right? I ain't got to say nothing. Jalen was a 4-star. So we went all crazy because Jalen was a 4-star at the end of the day. He transferred too. Matter of fact, he transferred from another school. So when we keep saying Q don't want to compete, like, I got to chill out with that shit. Like, if it's meant for him, what God has for you is for you. These are the same super Bible quoting, scripture quoting folks in these same groups that be sitting here casting spirits on folks like, he'll never start. Who the fuck are you to say what a kid will or will not do? You've been in the same position at your job for 8 years. Why don't you focus on trying to get a promotion and worry about what a kid doing in his own space? If you compare statistics, if we compare stats, go back and pull Quincy's stats up at his time at Jackson, the time that he played. If you want to break it down from production, let's see if we can get deep into it. If you look at the production and time of attempts, oh, trust me, he's off the charts. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to compare, okay, the whole Shador thing, which is so trash to me because it's not a knock towards Shador, but let's just be honest. Look how beautiful this looks at Jackson State. That Dion wins the SWAC. His son is right there. Man, that's picture perfect. You honestly think they finna let somebody from Memphis get in the way of that? I don't care what you say about competition. Quincy could go for 100 for 100. Ain't no way in hell that we finna let that interfere with what those folks built. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But stop shitting on the kid saying that he don't compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part that's getting me. Like, I've never seen a kid who hadn't played that much as Danny. Quincy Danny about the most hated player in the SWAC and ain't done shit to nobody.
I think, you know,
unless it's something I don't know. I think maybe I'm in the blind here on something.
But I think, though,
here's the other thing.
But no,
and I'm gonna come at you on something for a second. Hold on 1 second. I'm just saying this because I remember when me and you got into it, Scotty, because you was like, "Oh, this kid they got from North." That folks don't even know that part. Me and you got into it. We didn't like each other. She was like, "Oh, they got this quarterback from North Dallas. Man, he's finna kick Quincy ass." Okay. Oh, Jalen Jones, he's finna kick Quincy ass. Okay. New kid from Florida. Oh, he finna kick Quincy ass. Okay, keep lining them up. What else you got? Hell, go get Tony Romo. He got some eligibility left. I'm done. I mean, well, that's my point. What you got? I'm sorry.
My thing is this, Jay. Most of it I feel like is because people have jumped, like people know that I've rooted for Quincy Casey, and I'll stand on the mountaintop and shout at myself is that he didn't get a fair shot at the job. Period. So everybody aligns it like, oh, so you're saying Quincy's better than Shedeur. Well, you put Quincy Casey behind what he had at Jack State. I say they go undefeated still. I stand on that. You know what I'm saying? But now people like, right. Oh, Scotty, you this, you that, and now when anything that happens to Quincy to get to me, you know, they feel like, oh, Scotty, like this is, oh, your boy Quincy is your boy Quincy. And I'm like, I'll stand on that fact. I will stand on that fact that I feel as though Quincy will probably have thrown more touchdowns and more picks than Shedeur, but they still go undefeated. So if Shedeur throws 31, I got Quincy throwing 37. You know, if Shedeur threw 4 picks or 5 picks, I got Quincy throwing 8 or 9 because of just the volume of how Quincy gets down in his arm strength, his arm talent. I feel he's going to take a lot more riskier throws because he trusts his arm that well. But I stand on that. And I think that's where people have the disconnect of the fact of like, I'm hating on one or the other. No, I'm going to stand on the fact that I know Jesus could not tell me that there was an honest competition at Jackson State. And I don't give a damn. Like, I'm like, I get it. It's you, Jesus. I understand, but I don't agree. I don't. That's how much I'm so strong on the fact that there was no competition battle. And that's the only issue I've had. That's the only issue I've had for the whole situation. If you wanted to go with Shedeur, just say, hey, we're going to go with Shedeur. And I'm cool with that. But don't spit in my face. Don't spit in my face. Tell me it's raining because you knew you was going with your son the whole time. That has been my only issue with the whole Jackson State thing. That's it. Everything else I have honestly evaluated Shedeur game by game by game. And we've had conversations offline. I'm like, man, Shedeur, yeah, he's looking pretty tough. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So I'm like I said, it's never a situation of me hating on Shedeur because I think he's a great quarterback. I really do. But
absolutely,
my only opinion about the whole situation is the fact that you had a perfect setup, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. White kids have it all the time. Your kid go to school, he walks into a 6-figure job because you own the company. It happens all the time. But I think
the thing that people got, and that's you, right? Like the whole JSU Shedeur stuff, man. That's so in the past. It don't even really matter. Like it never really mattered then. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, I wanted Quincy to go, and I went on record and said this before your show. I wanted Quincy to go to Rice over A&M. That was just me.
Yeah.
Quincy wanted to stay in the SWAC. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to. He was like, no, I want to stay in the SWAC. I see people saying, well, why would you go sit 3-4 years behind another quarterback? I mean, they do it all the time in Alabama. They do it at these big schools. It's like,
happily
at some
wait.
point, y'all, we got to pick a side, bro.
They were happy. Man, listen, Mac Jones waited 4 years for his opportunity to get 1 year to go to the league. Now, I know that's a bad comparison because he really much walked into a perfect situation.
Right.
It became a first-round draft pick. But QBs do it all. Listen, it happens at a lot of programs that you just sit and wait.
And actually, we should really want it to happen more at HBCUs. We're so used to grabbing a freshman. Man, he's going to be the starter. And that's why the quarterback play, let's just be honest,
has been bad.
It's a little lukewarm in the SWAC. Because we don't have succession planning, we don't have development. You know what I mean? That's part of it. But I think, man, when we look at everything, how it breaks out, bro, competition is a good thing.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Competition is a good thing, and not trying to take over your show. I just think, man, we got to chill out with this shit. Like I get if the boy play bad, you bash him, right? The man ain't even played. Let the man get his chance to play. I think it's more so because folks know you like Quincy, and dog, we can't help that you like QC. I can't help the fact that you like what you saw. It's plenty of other quarterbacks that play, but you like QC. Hell, you could have liked what was the kid that was behind Quincy? That went to Texas Southern. He played too. he transferred from Jackson State to Texas Southern. Y'all ain't shitting on him.
Yeah.
So man, it's just I don't know. I just think it's funny, but hey, it is what it is, bro. But all the speculation and stuff and all that stuff, man, these are straight up facts. The boy wanted to compete. He stayed at Jackson State. He did his time. He went to Alabama A&M. They're going, and guess what? I probably would bet Alabama A&M probably gonna bring in another quarterback too. If I had to put my money on it,
that's how recruiting works.
I'm sure they probably gonna bring another quarterback in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just what it is, bro. Folks just got to chill out, man. Have fun, but don't be on here disrespecting these kids like that at some of these folks to the level y'all doing, because most of you tough guys realize some hoes. That's all I got.
Hey,
I
appreciate
your time.
Peace. Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you for holding on. What's up? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's good?
Hey, this is Calvin from Phoenix, Mississippi. So some of these, I mean, I want the brothers to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Jackson State diehard right here. But why would you want someone to not succeed? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense to me. We'll tell you a little story about another quarterback we had some years ago. This kid name was Lamontez Ivy. He played like in the back when we were really trash. He wasn't the best quarterback, you know what I'm saying, but he chose to come to our school. And I remember I was watching a game, he got hurt. And he had people clapping because he got hurt. Like, man, what the fuck type of shit is that? I know the person, it was just more than one person who's doing it. Like, why the fuck y'all clapping? His brother got hurt. He chose to go to our school, you know what I'm saying? And if you played anything before, you know what I'm saying, that ain't something you do.
Nah, you don't. You don't celebrate
another
injuries.
Thing is, yeah, another thing, too, is like, you don't know what this guy's going to be in the future. This guy could be nothing to do with football. You know, could be a multimillionaire, could become a coach or some shit. And like, you don't remember that shit. Like, oh, they were booing me and treating me like shit at this school. So I ain't going to give them shit. You know, I'm a coach now. I'm a high-level coach. I'm not coaching them. They booed me and treated me like shit at the school. So my point being, like Quincy Casey, some of these fans are like, oh, good riddance, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Like, you don't know what this guy's going to be. Dude could be a multimillionaire. He could always have a soft spot for Jackson State in his heart. But you treat him like shit, it's going to turn to bitterness. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's a different look at it. I never thought about it like that.
I mean, you never know what someone's going to be.
That's real.
And one last thing, though. Like, I know I called in a while ago about Dion not going to sign anybody to compete with Shador. I mean, that's nepotism. And that's wrong, because in football, nothing is guaranteed. So that, you know what I'm saying, that's why every year you're supposed to sign a quarterback. I don't give a damn if you got Shador. I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm going to sign me a quarterback every year, because injuries happen, you know, and your backup quarterback's trash, then what happens?
You
looking
all your stupid.
In one basket.
You looking stupid.
You know what I'm saying? That don't make no. Yeah, like you know, competition. So what? Maynard brought in another quarterback. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. Keep bringing in people, because Quincy might not be that guy. You know what I'm saying? He might not be that guy. Well, injuries happen. You know what I'm saying? So the stupidest, and you know, out of 25, 30 kids they sign a year, and you know, in college football, only about like, I probably say less than half of them are actually going to be who you thought they were when you signed them. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
A lot of those kids end up being bust. But that's all I got, man.
Hey, appreciate the call.
No problem.
Let me be clear. Hey, Jay, I got you coming up next, right? Let me be very clear, right? What Jay is saying, because I know a lot of you like, oh my God, Scotty, everything I say about a kid is always on the football. It's always about football. All right. I can call you trash from the football field, right? Now, the funny thing is, I got grown men and women on here talking about, oh, these kids aren't kids, right? Take that same, because it's all Jackson State personally. It's all Jackson State, most people. Take that same energy, direct it to Dion, because he calls his kids all the time. Oh, these kids. Oh, my kids. These kids. But then when you're bashing them, or you talking about, oh, he didn't want to compete, oh, he ran, he quit, all that type of stuff, they not kids then. But then when I address anything that got going on at Jackson State, then it's, oh, Jackson, oh, don't talk about, oh, don't do this. Yeah, that's the funny stuff about it. And the reason I always bring it up back to Jackson State, because I talk about everybody in the SWAC, but nobody calls in crying and complaining more than Jackson State fans. That's the crazy thing is, I've talked about Rashawn McKay probably 10 times. My girl, who knows nothing about football, she hit me up at dinner. She said, there's one player, if the parents were to see you at the game, they should whoop your ass on site, and that's Rashawn McKay's parents. That's what she said to me. That's what she said to me. She said, if they saw you, they should whoop your ass on site. That's what she said. She don't know nothing about football. But yet still, I got more people bitching and moaning about Shedeur Sanders and what I've said about Shedeur than any FAMU fan calling in and talking about Rashawn McKay. That's funny to me. That's all I'm saying. That's really funny to me. Hey, Jay, talk to me.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Jay? Talk to me.
All right. Well, I just want to say that I am excited about what's going on the Hill. Good grief. Like, we doing some recruiting. I'm excited. Today is a great day to be a Bulldog. All eyes are on us, it looks like. Now, I do want to address some things. I don't understand why, and I've just been looking at comments on Facebook and this group. I don't understand why people are attacking Quincy. And I'm glad he addressed it on Twitter and saying that he's going to compete. Let me just use this for example. I'm a Saints fan, and everyone knows what's going on with our QB situation. Our QB1 got injured. Our QB2 is a tight end. Our QB3, I don't even know what that dude got going on. So everyone knows that you have to have depth. That doesn't necessarily mean that someone doesn't want to compete. It doesn't necessarily mean that, well, he needs to pack up and leave. He is going. Quincy Casey is being guided by some of the best offensive minds in the SWAC. He is being developed. So this is a good thing. Of course, we're going to pick up another quarterback because, again, that's a good thing. You always want to have depth. Competition is good. I'm excited. I'm excited about what we have going on. I'm excited about what we got going on in the Hill. I can't be invested in anybody else's program as folks are invested in ours. I don't care about what's going on. Otherwise, good luck to everybody. But I'm excited about what's going on at A&M.
You should
I'm
be
rooting for everyone in our QB room. I think we're going to have a great season. I'm excited.
You should be, and you got some defensive studs coming in too. Hopefully they hit on.
Yes, don't let's not talk about that because everybody focused on well, y'all need this, y'all need that. You don't think we know that? We're making changes, we're making moves, but no, let folks think what they want to think. We're good at A&M. I'm excited.
That you should be because they're doing their job and recruiting. Like I said, hopefully they hit. If they hit, they hit. If they don't, round 2 of no defense.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who is this? The Hill? Okay, let me address this.
Oh Lordy,
there's some confusion about us calling ourselves the Hill. If you've ever been to Alabama A&M, it's kind of understood. I don't. For those who've been in the comments who've been to A&M. Is it understood why we call ourselves the Hill? It's understood. I mean, you can see it in the picture. Like, what's the confusion? Never FAMU was called the highest. No, and that's great for you guys, but A&M is the Hill. You can actually climb it. It's the Hill. You can climb it. All right, but that's all I have.
No problem, Jay. Appreciate the call, though.
All right,
This is my thing, right? The whole conversation is whack, false narrative, right? And then the whole point is, if it's whack, then why are you continuing to listen? That's what I never understood, right? Listen, if I'm listening to a radio station and I don't like what it's playing, I can click off. I happily move on. You know, I like country music. If they playing classical music and I'm not in the mood for that, then that's not what I'm in the mood for. So you can happily click off. Like, so explain to me how the conversation is so whack, but yet and still you're living in the comments, still debating. So it's either whack or it's not. It's either interesting or it's not. Like, I don't understand that. Like, y'all be bugging me. What's up, Ryan? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up?
You sound real far from the phone. Maybe you come a little closer.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Yeah, that's much better. Go ahead.
Look, let me explain something for everybody in the comments. So the reason why this the card everybody want to play, delusional JSU fans. So let me make an analogy. Can you imagine Georgia? If you turn on the SEC Network or turn on Paul Feinbaum, and Paul Feinbaum every day talking about the deficiencies in Georgia before they lost this last game, they undefeated, but he talking about the deficiencies in Georgia. You see what I'm saying? But it's like JSU winning. The reason why JSU fans, y'all call it being emotional, and it's like that is because like this team is undefeated, and it's like only thing people in the comments and other people talk about is oh, the offense ain't this, and you know what I'm saying? Everything but the success they having on the field. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm gonna let you speak your piece because a lot of people say like I don't give Jackson State people the time to speak their mind. So I'm gonna just let you, however you want to play it, however you want to paint it. It is your world. I'm just a squirrel living in it. So go ahead and paint it. Because I mean I could rebuttal what you're saying, but it doesn't.
No, I mean, like I say, I'm just trying to help you understand what I be saying. My thing is like everybody play. JSU fans are delusional, but it's like we winning. So you know what I mean? That ain't the fact that we delusional. It's like our team is winning. And then, like, when we get in the comments, it's always something negative. But like I say, that's why I compared it to Georgia, because Georgia is winning on the SEC level, and you don't hear nobody saying nothing bad. You don't hear people every week nitpicking and, oh, they could have did this better. No, they talking about the success Georgia has. You know, they can, you know, they will say looking forward when they play in the playoffs, oh, you know, they might need to tighten this up or tighten that up, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? The negativity.
Okay, so let me help you out, Ryan, because I see where you're going, but you're not painting the holistic picture. You're only painting the picture for your narrative, right? So even when people talk, and I'll stick on your analogy, right? So even when people talk like Georgia, they could be like, Georgia has one of the top defenses. You know, they have this guy, they have that guy. They brag about this guy. I'm gonna ask you a question. Do people not do that about Jackson State?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's a true statement, right? You know, you hear from me, you hear from CFL, you hear from Blue. Yep. We're picking up James Houston, the defense, Antoine, whatever. Now, in the same factor, can you not also say, hey, but if they don't, because in a couple games of Georgia, they only scored like some of the wins, they only scored 21 points, another team scored 10, right? So now you're talking about, okay, hey, is that offense going to be able to compete when they meet up with somebody who can score?
Got it. Stop right there. That's fair. Now that's fair. But y'all don't do that with Jackson State. People don't do that. This O-line, it's not like looking forward. They might need to tighten up on this. The offensive line is not playing what they need. You know, looking forward. My thing is, it's always negative. Like it's negative connotations when it comes to Jackson State. And like I said, I think a lot of that is because it's real talk. And I know you kind of check me about hate, but it's real talk. It's jealousy because if Southern, what they call the JSU fans, they call them Primates. If any other school in the SWAC had Deion Sanders, they would be excited and they would be, you know, they have the same type energy, and especially if they win.
Right.
But since Jackson State. Go ahead.
Come on. Let's listen. I love this conversation, and I just want to go back and forth with you, Ryan. But the fact that you just gave me a yes when I've said to you that we pick up your defense, that means you're only focusing in on the negative criticism that we give Jackson State. That's what you're doing. You don't, because it's the same thing. And even you called in and said, hey, Scotty, I got to give you props because you gave Shedeur his credit, right? But then when I do give him his credit, and then a week later I'm saying something bad, all you focus, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying all the people in the chat focus on is Scotty's negative. But just last week, I gave Shador all the credit in the world. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. People only, and this is life. I'm not even saying like football. Life, people always focus on the negative. And I even had to check myself because in my comments, I found myself only responding to the negative people. People can say, hey, Scotty, I love the show. I'll hit a like, I hit the thumbs up and keep moving. And then I'll see a negative comment and I'll get with them. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's life. And as people, we focus so much on the negative that we don't enlighten the positive, because there are man, bro, everybody in the world, everybody in the SWAC knows Malachi Wideman is the truth. Everybody in the SWAC knows that Keith Corbin is good. Everybody in the SWAC knows that Shador is a great quarterback. But when we say something negative, all people want to pump up is the negativity. You get what I'm, because there's no person alive that can just say nothing but negative things about Jackson State. It's not possible because the team is too good as a whole.
Right. And that's fair. And I mean, that's a fair point. I'm not gonna argue against that, because that's fair. But how about this? Let me go to Quincy real quick and let me double back.
Go ahead.
That the situation with Quincy, I don't even know Quincy. Like, the dude was talking, I don't know what his name was. He was talking about, people talking about the dude personally. I don't know nobody who done said anything negative about the man, you know, personally. Like you say, okay, baby. You can talk about the man as a player, but that's weird to talk about some dude you've never met before. You know what I'm saying, personally. Like,
okay, so
I don't know, dude.
You gotta look at it like this, Ryan. I think people take it too personally, right? If we're not saying, yo, Ryan was talking junk about Quincy. No, we're not saying that. We're saying it to the people who said it. When you go to a kid and say you don't want to compete, and he quit, or he couldn't stand up to this or couldn't stand up to that, and you're not seeing the whole situation that this young man had to go through, then you're not being realistic. It's just the same as saying that, it's just as much as people want to focus on the negative, people are blind to the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's something in a narrative that they want to push, right? So the only issue I've ever had with Deion and Shador, you know what I'm saying? Like, the real issue that I will stand on and say, I do not like how this went down and I don't agree with it 100%, is the fact of the competition in the spring. I don't believe that they gave Quincy Casey a fair shot to win the job. After that, everything else is my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Everything else is just like, I don't like, that's opinion. But when people try to flip it and say, oh, nah, Quincy didn't want to compete, or he ran from Shador and he didn't want, like, bro, anybody who literally had a son that was not named Sanders would have transferred, because you knew what it was. And Ryan, as much as you're a fan, bro, let's be honest, bro. Like, if you had a quarterback who was a 4-star, 3-star quarterback starting at Jackson State, you would have said, son, I think it's best that you, because your son would have been a freshman, he would have been a freshman. And you're like, son,
right.
we
talked about that before.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. So that's all I'm saying, is that people only focus, like, some people go blind to the whole situation, and then they only want to push their narrative, and then some people want to focus on negativity to pump up, oh, you guys are hating on Jackson State or whatever, whoop-de-whoop, and it's not the truth, because I know plenty of Southern fans be like, man, that Bama James Houston, the truth. That Jackson State defense, the truth. I know, but they'll say, and they'll say this, I'm a Southern fan, I don't even like Jackson State, but nobody wants to talk about that. All y'all want to talk about is when they say, hey, Shador really didn't have to do that much, or hey, the running game really was bad, or hey, the offense, which is all true. But at the end of the day, that's all y'all want to focus on, and not all the pleasantries that people give you. But go ahead.
Last thing, it ain't really like that. Like I say, like, I couldn't type all that. You know what I'm saying?
No, you good.
I'd rather just call.
You're right.
So
that's what it's for.
This was the people in the comments, though, is like, their number one card is, JSU fans delusion. And something came out on Instagram, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Jackson State averaged, I want to say 42,000 in attendance, led all LCS. I think number 2 was Montana. I think they came in at like 24,000, something like that. So these delusional JSU fans, the only fan, and before Deion, in 2019, Jackson was putting 33,000 in the stands. So this before Deion, and after Deion, they put 42. These delusional fans, the only ones who packing their stadium out and supporting their school with money. You know what I mean? Everybody else in the comments who support UAPB and Bethune-Cookman and all of them who put 7,000, 8,000 people in the stands, That ain't real support. But my point is, college ASU fans delusion, man. We really care about the school and we supporting the school. So I don't know, especially like I say, the team winning. So it ain't being delusion.
Listen, man. This is come on, bro. That's like me getting mad about people calling Dallas Cowgirls. Like, come on, man. Y'all are sensitive, bro. Y'all are just. I'm sorry. Like every other, like that's in any sport, bro. If somebody is not agreeing with your team, they're going to bash your team. It's sports. It's what it is. The only issue I have is when they hate on great players. Like if somebody called in and said James Houston is not good, I'd be like, shut up and get off the phone line. You know, like you're just a hater. But at the end of the day, if people can say, you know, Jackson stank, or you know, or you guys are delusional, that's part of fandom. That's part of having a different team, bro. It's no different than Jackson State fans. I've heard them say you can't spell suck without SU. It's part of being fans, y'all.
Nah, that look, no, that I understand that. I ain't talking about that. Yeah, we all do that. That's part of the best. I'm talking about people really think like we crazy. Like if you disagree, if I say something, I'm talking about people in the comments. I really talk. If I say something, y'all delusional ASU fans. That's the part. It's delusional. Like I take delusional personally. You know what I'm saying? No, like Jay Stank, all that. That's part of that's been going on. That ain't nothing. I'm talking about they really think
it's
like
no different, bro. It's no different than saying Jay Stank or the illusion. Like it's funny because it works. It really works. But listen, bro. It's no different. It's no different than I've had Jackson State fans call in and say, "Yo, we ready to move up to FBS." You have called in and asked me, Scotty, do you? No,
I never. Whoa! I never told them to move. I don't want them to move to FBS.
You asked me. You called in and asked me, Scotty, do you think? He said, honestly, Scotty, do you think we can move? You've called and asked that.
No, hey, Scotty, real talk. That ain't me because I want them to stay with the HBCUs. I know that wasn't me because I want them to stay with HBCUs. If they move and two other HBCUs move up to FBS, that's gonna kill like the pageantry and everything. I never called you with that.
All right, but I've had Jackson State fans call me in and ask me should they move up? Is that not delusion? That's delusion to me. So
I want, like I said, I want to go for that, but you know, yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Ryan, but I got a lot of people on the call line, but appreciate the call though.
All right,
hey, what's up, Smash? Talk to me.
Man, look, I think the problem is that, like, you know, why they going on with the delusional fan stuff? They're taking a little offense to it because it may have some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know they win shit before Dion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But at the same time, like you saying, who gives a shit? Anybody would have been happy to have Deion Sanders as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your thing, y'all win and be happy. But you can't be mad at fans when they call out what it is. Exactly how you said. Who wouldn't have left the team if they know Deion Sanders' son is coming to play quarterback? You know your spot going. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if you think back, we had a little talk about this on one of your episodes when we was like, we hope next year it be the Quincy Casey revenge tour. Remember we was talking about that?
Facts.
Exactly, and we were saying it also was some stuff going around on Twitter. There was like, y'all so busy worrying about these transfers that you're getting. Y'all better worry about if those players who actually left the team, who was originally on the team, don't do like a tell-all, speak-out type of situation, how they was treated unfairly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those kids still in the SWAC. They just on different teams. So like, as I'm just saying, bro, like you got to just get what comes with the punch. You can't want the glory and then like not know the obvious. The team was stacked. Push the door. It is what it is. You did a great job. Y'all won y'all ship. Take it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't complain on how fans complain. That's all I'm saying. But we did talk about that, how it may be a revenge tour. So I just hope Quincy Casey stuck this out and at least compete for the spot. But I think he's gonna get some playing time next year. For sure. I'm not just saying.
Hey, appreciate it, Smash.
Gotcha.
Oh, Jay, it's coming. I can't be premature with it because if you don't get the job, it's gonna look stupid. So you know what I'm saying? But it's in the works, Jay. It is in the works. Okay, it is in the works. Trust me when I tell you. Hey, what's up, Coach Green? Talk to me.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Oh man, hey, I'm gonna say this though, man. I feel like a lot of people that are, you know, just saying stuff about Quincy Casey jumping in the portal and all that, you know, it all because, you know, of you know, because you was hyping, you know, Quincy Casey up, and when he by him leaving JSU, but at the same time before you saw Shedeur play, he was like, down in Shedeur. So the Jackson State fans was probably just, jumping on you because of that. That's one of the reasons I look at it like that. And now, as far as the QB competition, this is what I'm gonna say, because because your dad is the coach, it's very hard to sit there and say, no matter how he would have did it, somebody was gonna say, oh, it was unfair if Shedeur would have won. No matter how he would have won it, it always would have came out unfair because everybody gonna look at that, oh, that's his dad. But nobody want to sit there and actually look at that. Maybe, I'm playing devil's advocate. Maybe Deion evaluated each quarterback, and he just felt like none of them was better than Shedeur, and they had a whole spring to sit there and evaluate. And he sat there and evaluated all the quarterbacks that was there on campus. And he just probably felt like Shedeur was the better option. And nobody can say he was wrong because, as y'all can see, he pretty much did pretty good. What you got to say on that?
I don't have much to say. I mean, you said you was playing devil's advocate. So what is there to say?
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, what's your feeling on that? Maybe he did, evaluate them.
I've already made my stance. It's nothing you can say. Is no stand. I said, listen, did you not hear what I said? I said, if Jesus came down and told me that there was a true competition battle, I wouldn't believe it. So it don't matter what you say.
Yeah, but and that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be hard. No matter how he would have done it, you still would have came out and said it. The simple fact because that's his dad. There's no way around it.
Listen,
because number one, they're gonna both get the most criticism if he done failed.
Listen, bro.
Wait, what you about to say?
Like, it's Deion freaking Sanders. At the end of the day, he's about marketing. You can't market Quincy Casey. You can't market Quincy Casey like you can market Shedeur Sanders. You just can't. It is what it is. And then at the end of the day,
but hold up. You can sit there and say you can't market that, but at the same time, you can't sit there and say that, oh, if his son wasn't good, he was gonna play him anyway. Deion ain't that stupid.
I know for a fact. Well, his son's a 4-star, so that's neither here nor there. I mean, if your son's a 4-star, then I mean, you even if he doesn't play good, you can always fall back on that he's a freshman. So that didn't matter. That doesn't really matter, for being honest. If I'm being honest, it doesn't, because people were going to give that. Anybody was going to give that. That was going to be his out anyway. He's a freshman.
Come
on, bro.
You can't sit there and put that.
Come on, bro.
You got to think about.
Come on, bro.
What did he say? What did he say leading up to the fall? He said, "Y'all better during the spring. He said, y'all better get me now because we gonna win." He put that out there. Is he
gonna say he's gonna lose? So is he supposed to say he was gonna lose? I'm
just saying. Ain't no way he can hide. And he proved us right.
Sir,
I mean, he proved himself right.
Listen, I don't give a damn what Deion said in the fall, bro. It's Deion freaking Sanders. He can turn spoiled milk and make you think it's wine. It's Deion. He's marketing, right? So I don't think, even though I said I don't think he could have marketed Quincy like he wanted to, listen, bro, like if Shedeur is not the starting quarterback, he doesn't get beats by Dre. He doesn't get that deal. It's a lot of stuff that doesn't happen if Shedeur is not the starting quarterback. And it's a good look. It's optics. It's good optics. And at the end of the day.
But at the same time, you also got to look at, you got to give this man some type of credit. Like, he ain't going to just throw his son out there if his son was poaching.
Bro. He was a 4-star quarterback. He's going to get, listen, bro, he's a 4-star quarterback starting as a freshman. Everybody was going to give him a pass because you're going to say he's a freshman. That's what you're going to do.
No, they wasn't going to give him a pass.
Yes, they were.
There wasn't going to be no pass.
Yes, they were.
It wasn't going to be no pass. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It's just like Southern. You know, if if Rollins would have been successful, people would have gave him a pass. But he wasn't successful, so the Southern fans did not give Rollins a pass.
Bro, are you comparing Jawan Pass, who was a 6-year senior, to Shedeur Sanders?
No, I'm talking about Rollins. Rollins at Southern. He did not get a pass.
What freshman?
He lost this
What
year.
freshman?
And then he lost
Because
by class.
Oh my, Coach Green, bro, you're so lost, bro. Like, I'm gonna need you to reel this in.
I'm lost.
Coach Odoms left him a team that was good. They were really good.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to depend on one individual thing, like you're saying about Shedeur, where he's like, oh, if the quarterback didn't. No, he had a great team. He did not coach his team well. That's why Rollins looked as bad as he did. They're mutually exclusive. So what are you talking about?
Exactly. So if Shedeur did not play well, they would have did the same thing to
Shedeur. That
Shedeur.
is not true. They would have said he was a freshman. Right now. Bro,
so you don't think?
No, listen.
You don't think they would attack him?
No, because at the end of the day,
so you think JSU fans would not been like, oh,
no,
that's daddy ball.
No. You're gonna have a certain percent of fans that are gonna say, okay, maybe we should have went with Quincy Casey. Then you're gonna have a percentage of fans that are gonna say, well, he is a freshman, whatever. The defense was great. He just didn't come through. You're gonna have two sides of that fandom. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have fans that are gonna say, you know what? Let's give Shedeur another year, whoop-de-whoop. And then you're gonna have friends that are gonna be like, man, we should have kept Quincy Casey, or we should have got another quarterback. But at the end of the day, people were going to still, everybody, even me, were going to be like, he was a freshman. What did you expect? That's what we were all going to say. He's a freshman.
Oh, so you wouldn't have been on there talking about, oh, they should have kept Quincy Casey.
I would have said that.
Saying all that.
I would have absolutely said that. Because I wanted Quincy Casey. I felt as Quincy Casey had produced on the field already, so you knew what you were going to get with him. But if you put Shedeur Sanders in there and you ride with it, at the end of the day, no different than what I said in the FAMU game. Looking like a freshman. Sure is looking like a freshman. Sure is looking like a freshman. That's what I said. And I would have continued to say that all season if he would have played bad. I'm like, this is what happens when you start a freshman. This is what that would have been my continual argument all season. This is what happened when you play daddy ball and start a freshman. That's what I would have said all year.
But I just know how, I know how Southern fans are, because that's my team. I just know it's gonna be a big portion of the JSU fans would have been real upset if they would have had a losing season this year because of the type of class he brought in, bragging about how highly they was ranked. That portion of that fan base would have been up there.
All right, Coach Green. All right, Coach Green. All right. Thank you. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Hey, Coach Harp, what's up?
How you doing, Scotty? I just want to talk about how Quincy Casey, he lost the job at Alabama A&M.
Talk to me.
So you interviewed my DT, met Coach Maynard. You know how they are very serious about quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback competitions, they compete in every Friday. Being ineligible, that means Quincy Casey this year went against the first team defense every week. So he had to show some deficiencies in a lot of areas for them to want to replace him. So I think this is more about his disability versus people picking on him. Yes, he will get some playing time, I believe, next year, because Coach Maynard's like Spurrier. He'll switch quarterbacks in a minute, especially if they're on comparable levels. But the bigger issue is him not being able to solidify the job after practicing against the first team defense for a whole year.
But why would they not bring in a like that, Coach Harp? Like that doesn't even make sense. If you was coaching if you was coaching at a college,
I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
When I was with Coach Maynard at Winston-Salem, we had a transfer from University of Virginia named Philip Sims. He was ineligible, but he practiced Tuesdays and Wednesdays, the days we do inside run, the heavy stuff. He didn't come to practice no other days because he wasn't needed. But his skill level shined so bright that he wasn't even looking at bringing anyone else in. So what I'm saying is just like the transfer portal, if I got somebody in the transfer portal, I don't need to get a freshman. So essentially he was in the transfer portal and he didn't show what he could do every day, so he got replaced. yes, you are supposed to replace all your players, but again, in that situation, which is quasi transfer portal-esque, if you get what I'm saying, he had the ability to shine every day in the film room, as on the field, and he didn't get it done. So then they had to come replace him.
Okay, so my thing is this, right? Why would you? Okay, so even if you bring in a freshman quarterback from your recruiting class, you still got that to build longevity. You bring in, because the white boy left, the white boy is gone. The other quarterback is gone. CJ, I think CJ Henderson or whatever. Both of those guys are gone. So now you're literally down to Xavier Langford and Quincy Casey. So you gotta bring, if you feel like neither one of these guys can get the job done, or you want to make it a full competition battle, you bring in somebody new. Now, at the end of the day, the kid still has to learn the playbook. The kid still has to have some type of understanding of the offense. So how can Quincy lose the job already if a new kid coming in don't even know the offense?
Well, just like when you're recruiting, like say, for example, my position is offensive line. So when we just had a recruiting meeting last night, so I'll look at people and say, well, he's deficient in this area, so he might be 1 or 2 years away. When you recruit, you look for, especially on that level, is he going to be a starter on the FCS when he comes in? Or is he going to vie for a job? Is he going to play special teams? I know that don't relate to quarterbacks. I'm just thinking holistically as a team. Is he going to play special teams and work his way up? So when I look at quarterbacks and I say I'm bringing in quarterbacks, you're not going to bring in 3 people that I want to start because, you know, obviously some people are going to transfer. So I'm going to have 2 starters that can compete, 2 backups. I have a deficiency that might be a year, half a season away, et cetera. And then 2 developmental people to run the scout team, and hopefully they'll be there 3 years later. So it's layered and differentiated is what I'm saying. So with them bringing in that level of quarterback, they're ultimately saying that Quincy Casey doesn't have the skills to compete as the number 1, or they don't think he is. If they did, they would have brought in maybe someone else to in case he got injured, instead of trying to bring someone that's going to compete or have potentially greater skill than him, if that makes sense.
Hold on, that doesn't. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, because if I have a quarterback of Quincy Casey, right, and then I'm bringing in a guy who left Miami, because it's if I'm being honest, I'm taking the star thing all the way out, because stars don't mean nothing. You either can play the position or you can't, right? So he left one position, he left another, left South Florida. He couldn't win at none of those positions. He comes to your position, not knowing anything about your playbook, not knowing anything about this coach, because it's different if you follow a coach, right? So if, let's say, the Miami offensive coordinator gets a new job at Alabama A&M, I had a history with him, so I can go and start tomorrow because I already know the playbook. I would totally agree with you on that. I'd be like, damn, that's not a good look for Quincy Casey, because he knows the offense. He's bringing in somebody that can play right away and step right into it. This is not this kid. This kid cannot step in day one because he doesn't know the offense. So he has to spend so where Quincy Casey is already at when it comes to understanding the offense, now this kid has to pick up and jump on it and learn it. Then he also has to beat out Quincy Casey flat out because of the skill set. And if I'm being honest, watching the kid's tape and watching Quincy Casey's tape, his arm difference is not, they're not that far off from arm strength. So I don't understand, to me, and first of all, playing against that first team defense, they weren't good anyway. So
yeah, you're right. I just think that, again, it's a similar situation for him. If you look at Jackson State, when he was there and they brought in a quarterback from Florida, just like Shador got preferential treatment because his last name, the other guy got preferential treatment because he was a BCS transfer. So most likely that's going to happen again, where they give him every opportunity to lose the job. And Quincy Casey will have to fight for it because, again, that's just the nature of the business. With him transferring from BCS, they're going to give him, the shot to keep him warm and fuzzy so he don't go anywhere. They see he can't play, then it'll be Quincy all day. But most likely Quincy going to be treated as a number 2 just off of, the status of the game.
I have to disagree with you. And the reason I have to disagree with you, because Maynard and DT have both shown to not care about scholarship players, if I'm being honest, because Abdul was a walk-on, and started, Who else? I think Zay had like one offer when he came in. I think another person was like a preferred walk-on at the wide receiver position. So I don't.
Yeah, but we talking about quarterback though, so that's different. That's their baby.
No, but
that's what the meetings they sit in every day.
And the reason I'm disagreeing with you is because they've shown a pattern to play the best player. Like that to me is it. So if they start with Jarren Williams, to me, I would say he's the best player. Like that's all I'm because I believe in Maynard I believe in Maynard and DT that much that it's no favoritism. I don't care that you BC. I really think that has nothing to do with how they move. It's strictly off. Are you the best player at the position? Can you execute the offense the best? And whoever does that the best is going to get the starting position. I don't care. If I honestly believe like Connor Maynard and DT, and you know them just as just kind of, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I know DT a little bit better, but I really feel like that's the way they move. So if the Jarren Williams kid is the best kid, he's going to play. It's just that simple. If Quincy Casey is the best kid, they're going to play and they'll deal with the consequences as they come. If that kid jumps in the portal again, he jumps in the portal again. That's life. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I think the part where differ is I definitely agree that the best person is going to play. What I'm saying is that once Williams gets there, he's going to be given every opportunity to upsert Quincy Casey. And Quincy Casey is going to have to fight to beat him out. It's not going to be Casey, one, they're going to have him in there. Quincy's going to start out as 1A, then Williams will be 1B. But as 1B, he's going to get, because he doesn't know anything. So just like he's new, they're going to bring him in. This is how we do this. They're going to be more patient with him, see him develop. Most likely, I think it's going to turn into a 2-quarterback system with Williams being the athletic, power read type guy. I think Casey's the better thrower based off my film study. But in regards to the starting job, he's going to be given another opportunity to upsert Quincy Casey is what I'm saying.
And we'll just have to agree to disagree on this one because I feel as though
I got you.
Yeah, I feel as though that's not how they get down. Like I don't think that just because he came, because if that's the case, then you would have usurped you're getting beat out by freshmen. If that's like, if it really like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're this Miami quarterback, you're getting beat out by freshmen. You know what I'm saying? And you're the senior, you're the upperclassman or whatever, and you've been getting beat out. And I'm not saying that he's not good enough to play at the SWAC level because let's be honest, playing at the SWAC level is not all world. It's not like you got to be a Southland Conference quarterback and putting up Walter Payton type numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that. And let's be honest, that kid could start at any quarterback. He could literally walk into any quarterback room in the SWAC outside of Jackson State. And
I agree.
And start day one. Let's be honest. Just because
it's just the fact they get a new toy, they're gonna have to try it out. Though.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, it's a wait and see type of feel. We'll see. Like, am I rooting for my man Quincy Casey? Of course. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I want the revenge tour. Listen. I've been dreaming about that since he left. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, we'll see.
Yeah, but again, I'm rooting for Quincy too. I think it's going to be, and I'm calling it first right here, be a 2-quarterback system, 2 quarterbacks on the field. Williams might be at running back. He might be at receiver. It's going to be a lot of different fun stuff. I'm calling it first. Thank you so much. Talk to you tonight, Scotty.
Hey, appreciate it, Coach. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's
Bobby from Tampa, man.
Talk to me.
Man, people act like when they talk about competition and person transferring, Shador decommitted from either FAU or FIU to go to Jackson State. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He would have had competition where he was at. But he knew he wouldn't have competition at JSU because his dad's the coach. But let's take father and son out of it because it makes the argument too easy. If I was a little league coach and I coached a kid at quarterback from little league through high school, got a college job, recruited that quarterback that I had from little league to my school, he's starting. He's not going to decommit from a school that he was at to come to where I'm at as his coach his entire life. Literally.
He had one coach his entire life. And it just so happened that his coach was Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame, Deion Sanders, who just happened to be his dad. Deion invested hella money in both Shiloh and Shador, sending him to camp and all that. He missed on Shiloh, but he hit with Shador. Shador never played any other position than quarterback because he never had the athleticism to do so. Deion was a quarterback in high school. Deion was the perfect person to get him started in the position because Deion knows that position. It's like, let's not be crazy. Now, if it's your son, like you said, 10 times out of 10, who's going to make me bench my son in a multi-million-dollar possibility opportunity for my son?
Nobody.
I think the only person that is truly that more happy than Shador than Deion and Shador is N'Kosi Perry.
Listen, man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. If I had a son, and literally my son wouldn't get taught by Tom Brady, of course. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no Tom like that. But you know what I'm saying? If I could give my son all the best coaching and teaching in the world, and then let's say they offered me the offensive coordinator position at UAPB, if you don't think my son is coming with me, and if you don't think my son is about to start at quarterback, you're stupid. You're stupid.
Right.
That kid need to blow my son out the water. Okay, it's no different than watching boxing matches, right? People can say, "Oh, that was a little close, man," but you gotta beat Mayweather. You can't it can't be close. You gotta literally Mayweather lost. Like, there's no way that he can say that Mayweather. No. If it's I think Mayweather could have won, then Mayweather won. That's how that works, and it's the same thing with any battle with a father or son type of situation. You either got to be so much better than my kid, or my kid about to start. Man, my kid starting. I don't care what nobody say. My kid starting. So,
because really, like, think about it, bro. Like, you played the game like I played the game, right?
Yeah.
So, if a coach can call plays offensively or defensively to highlight or expose any player, it's just facts.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a man corner in a zone scheme that he never played before, he's going to look trash. If you put a zone corner in a man scheme and make him play bump and run, he's going to get abused the entire game.
Facts.
So when people say, "Oh, it was a fair competition," I bet you plays were called in practice that were to the strengths of who they want to start.
I didn't even think about it like that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I didn't even go that deep with it.
Because you can make somebody who said I ain't from Tampa. Hold on. No, you're right. I'm not from Tampa. I'm from St. Petersburg. And I went to Florida A&M. You're right. Nick Riley. You're right. I'm not from Tampa. Okay. My bad, bro. I was reading the comments.
No, I know it can get you caught up. I know I do it all the time. I do it all the time. It can get you caught up quickly.
But I've seen it happen to players, where coaches have called plays to highlight one's abilities over and expose the other person's flaws so they can start who they want to start. It's sad, but it happens. I'm not saying that happened at JSU, but it wasn't real competition. Let's be 100. Nobody's hating on JSU. It's just, you have to be able to look beyond your own bull. Like, you got to admit at some point that your poop stinks.
Yeah.
But they don't want, anytime you tell them their poop stinks, bro, if you don't tell them it smells like roses, they cry.
That's Jackson State fans all day long.
Yeah, they cry.
But hey, man, appreciate the call though.
Hey, boy, I appreciate you.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Peace. Hey, what's up, caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's up, my boy Scotty?
What's up, Smoke?
What's up? I ain't talked to you in a minute.
I know, man. Every time I see some anonymous, I be thinking it's you, but it be some trollers. But go ahead.
I don't want to get a little bit, I don't want to get off topic, but I gotta ask you, and I'm gonna get off. How do you feel about Jalen Jones going to Bethune-Cookman?
I love it. I love it, and the reason I love it is because, I mean, I don't think people are gonna like the reason I love it. I think so it's twofold to this, right? I think that Bethune is going to actually build a team around Jalen Jones and call plays that are good for Jalen Jones. I think Jackson State kind of left him out to dry because they were trying to run a scheme that didn't fit Jalen Jones. And that was the biggest issue. Because when I watched some of his JUCO tape, he can make the throws, man. He can make some nice throws, but you have to put him in a system and where he feels comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That's with any quarterback. Usually, you never want to. If you have a quarterback that does certain things well, you go to that quarterback and say, hey, what makes you feel comfortable? Hey, what is this? Okay, do you like this throw? How do you like this concept? What makes you comfortable? So, and I don't think that, at his previous stop, that's what happened. So I think it's going to be a great fit. And I do think they need to definitely become more of a run first team with him, especially with Quayshawn Bird behind him. I think they could do like a nice little. I wouldn't be mad if they did a triple option, if I'm being honest, and or like a power read type of stuff with them, because Jalen Jones is speed.
I was going to get you that because PV runs a very deadly option with Jawan Pass, and I was going to ask you, do you feel like this scheme may fit him with BCU?
I think an RPO / QB power situation fits. I think, I like Dooley's system at PV because it is a run first system. Even though it's spread, it's a run first system. And I think if you get enough running backs behind Jalen Jones and you get a line that can protect him, I definitely think they can make something work out there. Because listen, Jalen Jones' feet is next level. He has next level speed. So you give him a crease, you give him a hole or a lane, and you block it up right, he will hit his head on the goalpost. No lie. I love it. All right, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Smoke.
All
right, man. Don't be a stranger. Hey, caller, you the last caller. What's up? Talk to me.
Hey, Scotty, man. It's Nate from Savannah. How you doing, bro?
Talk to me, Savannah. Nick.
So my comment is on this Quentin Casey thing is that I seen him in spring. He looked good, and that's fine. But I don't care that he didn't have any competition or didn't get a chance to compete, is because Shador was coming in as a 4-star. And even though it's Deion's son, the fact that it was a 4-star coming in, I think Jackson State fans were going to be satisfied anyway because we have a 4-star quarterback at the helm.
Facts.
Now, the other thing is the city of Jackson made $30 million through this last football season. On top of the optics of a Hall of Fame NFL player coming in, is both his sons coming, and the complete season they had, they couldn't pass up this opportunity to have this in the state of Mississippi, in the city of Jackson. That this has boosted their economy so much that who cares who Deion replaced the quarterback with? As long as they winning, money's coming in, everybody's having championships coming in left and right. This is gonna be a 4-year run probably. They couldn't pass up on that. So whether or not Quentin got a fair shake, which I don't think he didn't, but and I'm glad he did, went ahead and got it to Jackson State to compete for a spot. But again, I got a 4-star coming in. Who cares? I want to win now, and that's what Deion did.
That's real. I mean, listen, all I've ever said, and this is my thing, all I've ever said is just don't lie to me. Just don't lie. I don't care. I would have been super. And listen, people will be like, he doesn't have, all the Jackson State fans, he doesn't have to answer to you, Scotty. Who are you, Scotty? I'm nobody. But just don't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying is just, You know, just tell me, okay, you know, we're going with the 4-star. All righty then. Like, we're going with the 4-star. Like that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Just don't lie. Like, there's no need to lie. Like, people would have been okay. People, listen, Jackson State fans were so enamored. You could have been like, yo, we're playing this rock at quarterback. And they'd be like, I don't know how Deion's going to do it, but he's going to do it. Like, that's just how enamored people were with Deion Sanders going to Jackson State. He literally could have been like,
and that may be true. But the fact, I'm telling you, the fact that his son is a 4-star quarterback, that lets you know he's skilled enough to play the position. So that didn't even go over
stars
people's minds that Quentin Casey didn't have a chance.
Listen, man. Listen, stars are. I'm sorry. I like it's hit or miss with me with stars because let me give you the situation and let's keep it 100. I don't want to get hypotheticals. I don't like hypotheticals because I can finagle the situation to meet my point. So I won't do a hypothetical. All I'm saying is 4 stars of this. 4 stars are about exposure. When your last name is Sanders, okay, like you're going to get exposure. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying what he did at Trinity wasn't good. He won state championships. He was whatever they needed him to be. Okay, great. To me, it's the same exact thing he's done at Jackson State. I'm going to out-recruit everybody in my division. I'm going to get all the top players from the area. I'm going to put them on my team. I'm going to ask my son to not crash the car, make a couple big plays when you have to, and bam, state championship, here we come. And that's exactly what happened. But, hey, man, appreciate the call, though.
Okay, appreciate it.
Hey, no, man. You know. All right, so shutting the call lines down. I'm about to get up out of here. I didn't want to have a too long of a show. I didn't think it was going to go 2 hours. I was just kind of hit and miss it, whatever, right? But my thing is this. If you don't know, all right, do you think Shador would have better offers out of high school with his talent but not had the Deion as his father? That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Do you think Shador would have had better offers out of high school with his talent but not have oof? I think, oh, damn, Mike, that's a good question. That's a damn good question. You said if you had the talent. Oh, man. He's not a 4-star quarterback. I'll give you that. He would not be a 4-star quarterback if he didn't have it, if he didn't have the publicity behind his dad. That's that. I'm not saying he wouldn't be. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying his talent would not have made him a 4-star. You see, you guys are getting emotional. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? I'm not saying his talent would not have qualified him as a 4-star. The exposure, all right? He would not have had the same exposure to become a 4-star. That is 2 different things, okay? You have to understand a star rating system is about exposure, all right? The camps you go to, the scouts that see you, it's about exposure. And I don't think, once again, I'm going to say this very clearly. I'm not saying he wouldn't have had 4-star talent. I'm not saying Shador wouldn't have been a 4-star talent. He would not have been labeled a 4-star athlete because he wouldn't have had the exposure. That's my only thing. All right. So all you fans that are becoming, all you fans are saying Scotty's a hater because he's saying Shador is not no, I'm not saying his talent. That's not what I'm saying. All right. And if you're as dumb as people like this guy, all right. If you're as dumb as people like this guy, you think you know, but you don't. All right. You think you know, but you don't, because a lot of kids who play at bad schools that don't have great numbers because of their physical attributes at certain camps and how they dominate at certain camps, they become 3- and 4-star athletes and even 5-star athletes. So let's understand how the game is played when it comes to 4-star. And for a fact, even Deion said, I can pay somebody right now to make a kid a 4-star. He said that in an interview. He had said that in an interview on wax. Okay, so let's not act like you cannot buy stars. It's possible. you make the right calls, you make the right time, you can become a 4-star athlete or even a 3-star athlete. So let's not play. All right. What I'm saying is I get it. We all love those stars and things like that. I get it. Kids are amazing. I get it. But it's possible to not have always. There's kids that get underrated because of either the program they play at or the competition that they're in. And there's kids that get overrated because of that same factor as well. That's all I'm saying. All right. That's all I'm saying. Come on, man. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. So thank you, Luke. I appreciate that. All right. That's all I'm saying. I appreciate the objectivity. All right. I know we don't always see eye to eye, Luke, but I appreciate the objectivity. Thank you. All right. Thank you. So go back and watch it. He said it. So let's not play. All right. Let's not play. All right. So listen, guys, appreciate it. You know, for me, you know how I'm rocking. It's Quincy Casey. You already know what it is over here. All right. And if he starts, if he don't start, it's still Quincy Casey for me. All right. It is what it is. So until next time, guys, hey, make sure you tune into the show. All right, you tune into the show tonight, 7:30. All right, with me and Mr. Hemingway, we're going to talk about the Ed Reed situation. We're going to talk about Grambling. We're going to talk about recruits. We're going to talk about the Celebration Bowl. All right, all that and more with me and Mr. Kofi Hemingway tonight, 7:30, 6:30. Make sure you stay tuned. All right, so until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.